What is going on, everyone? This is GBall, and I have an exciting new knife here to unbox for you, coming in from R Black Pro. This is a new company from everything that I know, and from the looks of things, this is their very first knife release as well. Looks like they've done some multi-tools in the past, but if this knife pans out the way it looks on Amazon, that's the only place I could find this knife here, but if it pans out the way it looks on Amazon, this is going to be a mighty fine deal here. Very simple packaging. We have a Velcro pouch here, and we have the blue and FDE bladed version. Now, what's really cool about this pocket knife here is these are going to be coming in under $90, and we're going to be looking at S35VN for the blade steel, done 59 to 61 HRC, and that's what I'm getting at. If this knife pans out the way the specs are saying it's going to be, this is a superb deal here. S35VN done properly with textured aluminum under 90 bucks. That is a hell of a deal, ladies and gentlemen. And then we have a deep carry clip that is left hand friendly, so this is a completely ambidextrous knife. We have dual thumb studs for the deployment here, a very thin blade stock, which we'll take a look at here in a moment. A nice sharpening choil. I could do without the R Black there on the show side, but not a huge deal if you're going to be getting this type of value out of this knife. And then we do have recessed steel liners in there, and that's how our crossbar lock will be housed. Centering is spot on, and the spring strength is very good on this knife. If any of you out there have had this particular knife and done some testing on the blade, feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you think. I have heard about this company and this knife, I believe, but never got a chance to scope it out or even take much of a look into them until just now. Our overall length is going to be 8 1/8 at the very tail end of that lanyard hole. We have 3 5/16 of cutting edge, and we're going to call it 3 5/8 of total blade. So a great size. We'll put it up against a couple of other knives to give you a good comparison as to where this one is sitting. And up top, we have the new Kaiser Renaissance, and on the bottom, the Tenable Goblin L. And you can see here that this knife is going to be even a little bit longer than both of those. And two more, we have the Real Steel Vina, and we have the Vosteed Raccoon sheep's foot on the bottom. Here again, the RK403 is going to be even a little bit bigger than both of those. I don't even know if I said, but as of right now, it doesn't have a name, so to speak. It is just going by the RK403. I will have direct links over to this knife down in the description. It was a huge pain to find this knife anywhere. Luckily, I was able to find it on Amazon with like several different searches, because just typing in R Black does not work, or did not work for me. I had to type in additional keywords to get this to pop up. Finally, was able to do so. They do offer this with a green, blue, and black handle. And I think all of them, except for the black handle, are going to have the FDE or bronze blade. The black handle is going to be completely murdered out. We'll grab our 50 ways baked in GBall Vision Hank here, and we'll get a look at this pocket clip. Looks like that's going to work pretty well. Let's see about that. Not going to carry. It's going to carry pretty deep. You'll have a little bit poking out there. You'll just have your lanyard hole exposed, which certain people will really enjoy that. That is also a good place to grab a hold of this thing and pull it out of the pocket. Clearance is pretty good, except until you get up to the start of the clip. Not only is the clip not recessed, it is surface mounted. The screws are also surface mounted, so they're not recessed down into the clip. So not only do you have to go over the clip, but you got to go over the screws there as well. Not going to be a huge deal until you start working into thicker seams, so it's just going to depend on what you're trying to put it in. If the seams are thinner, you should be in good shape. If they're quite a bit thicker, might have to stretch it out just a little bit or do a little extra pushing. With that being said, it is left-hand friendly, and on top of that, if we're able to get S35 and aluminum under 90 bucks and it be legit S35 and tested to an actual 59 to 61, this is a superb pocket knife. We'll grab the arch nemesis here off the shelf and we'll give the 403 here a weight check. Now I like to play a little game with the new knives that come into the channel. It is called Guess the Weight, where I attempt to guess the weight of the new knife that is coming in, and I always invite you to play along. You can put your guess down in the comments, ounces or grams, whichever you prefer. Even if you already have a comment down there, go ahead and put your guess. And if you enjoy this type of content, make sure you are subscribed here to the channel. I release videos just like this every single day. I'm going to give it a go here. I do not know the weight of the knife. I'm going to attempt to guess it here. I'm going to say that it is a 3.5, 3.6. Oh, so coming in at 3.2, that's not bad. I'll take 0.3 off. That's not bad at all. 92 grams and 3.2 ounces. So considerably a lightweight knife, especially for its size. We'll get the calipers out here and we'll get a couple of measurements on our handle and blade. We'll start off with the handle thickness here, and that's going to come in at 0.41, pretty thin, 10.5. This is meant to be a lightweight, thin slicer though, so it's doing good at what it was created for. 2.2 millimeters, and wow, 87 thousandths for the blade stock. That is thin, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get a behind the edge measurement here. Right there up against the choil, we're at 22 thousandths. Let's go out here a little closer to this primary edge, and that's hanging out at 22. And this will be a little thicker, most likely, yeah. 37 thousandths up there towards the tip. Give you a little bit more piercing power, robustness up there. Let's see how this cuts out of the box. Now, let's see what kind of edge we have here on this R black. We'll do the primary edge here. It should cut like a dream. This thin a blade stock coming down, that thin in S35. We have a good setup here for a slicey devil. Let's see what we have here. It feels pretty good. Let's see about that first edge. Kind of hard to cut with that, but we're gonna give it our best. Kind of hard to strictly cut with only that, I should say. Not bad. Not bad at all, really. That's a lot of times I've said it, and companies are getting better at paying attention to that first edge on these Tantos. There's companies who do it better than others, but that's not bad at all. A lot of companies really suffer and fail us when it comes to that first edge. A lot of times it's not as good, you know, it's about a chisel, you know, is what it's good for. That's actually got a halfway decent edge on it. To cut this shitty catalog paper, that's not too bad at all. The primary edge is just fine, and I think, you know, time will tell, and the more information we can gather on this fella. But that S35VN, it should take a nice edge, and it's going to be very well-rounded for the user. S35VN, you know, was kind of kind of Magna Cut before Magna Cut. It was one of the most well-rounded steels you could get your hands on. But now Magna Cut exists, and Magnamax and some of these other steels. But, you know, all that has allowed is S35VN to creep down closer to $100, and in some cases be below $100. So here again, I'm going to say, if this pans out to be S35VN treated to a 59 to 60 or in that area, this is a phenomenal deal. We'll grab our off-grid driver here and get a look at the hardware situation. Non-tooled pivot, that looks clean. And that screw is going to house and help our area for the crossbar lock, the mechanism that holds the crossbar lock. And then we have T6 here. So it's going to be T6 all the way around, with the exception of the pivot. That is going to be T8. So I would like to see T6s all around. There's a couple of things, you know, if I'm looking to get performance per dollar out of my knife, there's a few things, you know, depending on where I'm at in my collection, what I'm looking to do when buying. But if I'm just purely looking for value per dollar, there's a few things I would, you know, overlook to acquire that S35VN. You know, the R black on the blade, yeah, I'll take that. You know, not having the best in and out of the clip, you know, I can deal with that. Yeah, I can deal with most of the little quirks that this knife has if it is going to be S35VN. The spring strength is really, really good on this crossbar lock. You can throw that blade out there, and because it's a little heavier at the tip, you can really get a good throw on the blade before you kick it out. So it's got a good weight to it, a good size. I love Tantos. I know some people aren't Tanto fans. I believe, however, the black on black version is actually going to be a drop point, not a Tanto. So there's two Tantos and a drop point. Don't know much about the drop point version. All I have seen and held is this one here, but they do have a drop point, it looks like, and you know, that one's going to be a little bit different than this one here, I think, materially and in its blade shape. So I can't speak on that one, but this one, this is a solid little knife here for the money. I don't, you know, the T6, you know, here again, I'll deal with it to get the performance out of the knife. If you're looking for just a slicer that's going to really perform for you, here again, you know, if you want to wait to see what people say about the knife, if we have any people that have handled this and have actually put it through its paces, I'm interested to hear that. Maybe we can get some testing done on it, or maybe there is some testing that's been done on this to clarify the S35, where it's heat treated at. All those things will hopefully be out and available now, or they will be very soon. With all that being said, let me know what you think of the 403 here from R Black Pro. Is this a good deal? Is it too good to be true? Is it a diamond in the rough? You let me know down in the comments. Have you had one of these? I look forward to hearing from you. Hit that thumbs up button for me. It really helps me out. And if you want to continue to see dope daily knife and EDC content, make sure you're subscribed here to the channel. I'll pop up a couple of new videos on your screen. Go check one of them out for me. Have yourself an awesome day. I will have links to this knife in the description if I didn't say that. Have an awesome day. Thanks again for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.